Hello, everyone, and welcome into the Pick Your Pile reading. So this is where we have three different sets of piles, and you decide which one you're connecting most with today, and then you go down in the description box and skip ahead to see what the reading is for that one. So the idea is not to listen to all three and decide which message you like the best, but rather which one are you drawn towards, and then listen to that message. So I'll go through each one real quick. And in this first pile here, we have our Celtic tarot deck. So that's what these cards look like if these are speaking to you. On top of the deck, we have Adventuring, which this is encouraging growth, and it's about diffusing negative emotions and negative energy and breaking unhealthy patterns. And then for the Oracle deck that goes with it, it's the Sacred Creator Oracle deck. Then in pile B, we have our Housewife Tarot. And that's what these cards look like. And then the stone on top of that is Labradorite. And this one is about calming an overactive mind, spurring imagination and joy. So it's got kind of this bluish hue on some cuts of it, and then it's kind of a brownish color from other directions. And then it's our spray paint art oracle deck. So those are the ones that I created a few months ago. And then in the third pile, this one is the one, it's got different kind of mythical creatures. So the devil energy has the demon. Over here we have a griffin, a giant whale, a dragon. So that's this tarot deck. And the Fool doesn't have anything underneath it. It's just the Fool. And on top of it, we have an Amethyst. And Amethyst is about relieving stress and finding balance, like emotional balance. It's also about third eye and crown chakra activations. And then we have our Soul Journey Oracle deck that goes underneath that. So go ahead and pick whichever one you wanted to listen to the reading for. And then go ahead and go down in the description box and follow it through to listen to see what message is coming through for that pile for you. We'll go ahead and start. We'll go in order, A, B, C. So let's go ahead and start with pile A and see what comes through. So we're going to pull 3 cards for the overall energy, past, present, and future. And then we're going to pull 2 for work, present and future, and then relationship, past, present, future, and then a couple cards at the end for what you don't see coming. All right, so overall energy for you for our pile A, we have the Ten of Wands in reverse, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and the Hierophant. So your Ten of Wands in reverse, you've had this energy of kind of like stress and burnout, that you haven't been delegating things. You've been carrying all of this burden yourself. So that was in the recent past, and it's currently putting you in this feeling of like bad luck and misfortune and setbacks, because you've been carrying all of this on your own. You feel like it's just this really bad luck and that nothing's really working out for you. And then the next level of energy that's coming in is that teacher, mentor, guru type of energy. So it's almost like you realize that what's been happening can't continue, so you're reaching out to get help from somebody else. So that's a beautiful type of energy that you've acknowledged that, wait a second, things can't keep going like this, and I'm reaching out. And so whether that's actually reaching out to a physical person, or maybe it's a matter of finding online resources. There's so many, with the internet, it's always a mixed bag, right? So some of the resources you find will be excellent. Some of them will be okay. Some of them might be a bit questionable. So just find whatever resonates with you to be able to help kind of bring you that sense of peace. All right, let's take a look. A couple cards for work. Presently, you're in a King of Swords in reverse energy, with the next level of energy being 8 of Pentacles in reverse. So currently, you're sitting in kind of this almost like coldness or weakness or cruelty type of energy. So it's a little bit of that emotionally detached energy, like you're doing your job, but you're not taking anything from anyone. It's to the point of kind of being maybe short with people. And the next level of energy coming in is kind of a little bit of that like laziness, and you're letting work slide. Like you're just not mentally engaged. I used to have a client that said, you need to be dynamically engaged in this conversation. So when he was talking to one of his staff members. So that's kind of that whole thing of, are you just showing up or are you actively engaged? So this is, with that laziness coming in, let's pull a timing card and see when that energy is going to shift for you at work. Let's see. It's already in motion. So it's already starting to shift a little bit. You just haven't fully shifted out of it yet. So if you're not immediately recognizing it, start looking for subtle signs at work that some of that is shifting. So it could be maybe there's a new person that's going to be starting soon that'll bring new energy. Maybe there's different assignments or a new client that's coming in, or maybe there's a client that's on their way out the door, and that will help kind of change that dynamic. So some of it's already starting. It's just a matter of getting you into a better overall headspace. All right, let's pull 3 cards for relationship and see what comes up there. Or in the recent past, you have Knight of Wands in reverse, currently sitting in 2 of Pentacles in reverse energy, with the next level being 2 of Wands energy in reverse. So in the recent past, this Knight of Wands in reverse, there was kind of a little bit of like anger and almost like recklessness from a relationship standpoint for you. And it just seemed like there was too many things in the air. And, it was, that's what your feeling is now. So this recklessness may have gotten you to a point where now there's too many moving pieces, too many issues, too many problems you're trying to work through. The next level of energy that's coming in for you, it's the sense of avoiding change, actually, and like indecision and failure to plan. So it just seems like there's a lot of chaos going on. But let's take a look and see what is the next level of energy after this 2 of Wands energy. What's going to end up happening? Because obviously you can't sustain that for too long. You're avoiding change, but let's see what ends up happening. So then you have this High Priestess energy. So the High Priestess energy, that is that divine feminine, that inner wisdom, that higher consciousness type of energy that's coming in. And let's get a time frame for when it looks like that's coming in. Make it happen now. So it's going to take some work. So with it saying make it happen now, it means that it's not naturally just going to flow. Like this is the next level of energy that's coming in, but you need to be the one that's leading it. And so these messages definitely go together with, that grayish purple, but this is what's being called for to change this dynamic, this feeling of, kind of chaos and there's too much going on. Is you need to look at that higher consciousness, inner wisdom, and kind of sift through what are the things that are causing problems in the relationship that really aren't even important, and figure out how to have those conversations to take those off the table. Maybe you've gotten to a point where you're arguing about something ridiculous, and you can take a look, whatever your situation is, and see what are the things that are actually the issues versus what is coming up as arguments because of these underlying issues. So if there's too many balls in the air, it's likely that there's 1 or 2 underlying issues, but it's manifesting in too many different ways. Like, well, you didn't take out the trash when you said you were going to. Well, how come I always have to cook dinner? Well, why aren't you spending enough time doing this? So there's an underlying issue that you need to dig in and find what it is. And if you can connect with that inner feminine, or that divine feminine energy and your inner wisdom and that higher consciousness, you'll be able to identify what those core issues are, so that you can kind of say, okay, all these other piddly issues or things that we're bickering about, it's not important. This, whatever it is, whatever this is the issue. Let's work on this, and then all this other stuff takes care of itself. So that is the message there, to, I guess, invoke your divine feminine. And then, this card wanted to jump out. Let's see what this one is. Limitations inspire innovations. So if you're feeling like you're limited in some way, shape, or form, from and I guess maybe from like a work perspective. If you're feeling like you're limited, it's going to inspire you to innovate and think about things a little bit differently. Let's pull another one since that was a jumper card. Fearless expression. So some of it is, don't be scared to talk very openly about these issues, because that's how they're going to get resolved. They're going to get resolved when you talk openly about them, and that's where you'll start to see some of the changes happening. So this is the message coming through for pile A. I hope that was helpful for you, but as always, take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. So I will be doing more of these pick your pile readings. So if this one ended up not resonating with you, then check back for future pick your pile readings. All right. And I wish you peace and joy along your journey for our pile A watchers. All right. Let's see. Pile B. All right, welcome in pile B. So we have our housewife deck, our spray paint art, and our labradorite. So let's see what message is coming through for you. We're going to take a look at the overall energy, past, present, and future. Take a look at some of the energy at work for the present and the future. And then relationships, we'll do a past, present, future as well. All right. So overall energy, in the recent past, we have 8 of Cups in reverse, currently sitting in the Lovers in reverse energy, and the future energy, or like next level of energy, is the 2 of Swords. So in the recent past, with this 8 of Cups in reverse, this is about feeling stuck, and there's this avoiding change, and there's definitely the sense of avoidance, and this feeling stuck has pushed you into this state of disharmony and distrust, and things are out of balance. And that's going to push you into a decision-making type of scenario. So the 2 of Swords is about, split loyalties. You have a difficult decision. There's a sense of denial, with the blindfold on, there's a sense of denial about this that, because you don't really want to have to make the decision. But with the Lovers in reverse, this is a heavy energy. So it means there's this major decision and you're out of balance, you're out of harmony. So it is going to push you into this place of needing to make a difficult choice. Let's take a look from a timing perspective and see what that difficult, like when that difficult choice is going to be coming up for you, or coming to resolution around your birthday. So whenever that might be for you. Okay. Let's take a look at energy at work for you. All right, in present energy, we have our 6 of Cups. And in the next level of energy, we have our King of Pentacles in reverse. So the 6 of Cups, that's that kind of nostalgic, that comfort feeling, that tradition. So, if it's something where you've been at your job for a long time, it's almost like, oh, I'm thinking back to the good old days, how things used to be here. But the next level of energy coming in is a little bit of this like irresponsible or kind of greedy energy. So it could be that you're sitting here looking back at, oh, I remember the good old days when things used to be like this. And so it's kind of pushing you in that direction of, I want things to go back to how they used to be. So you're doing things to move it in that direction, but those things could be seen as being irresponsible or almost greedy. Like if your job is taking a different direction, but it's like you don't want that, so you're pushing it back. So that's kind of the energy at work. And let's see what we'll pick another card in terms of advice for how to get out of this energy. Oops, that's too many cards starting to flip. All right, so advice on how to get out of that energy is 6 of Pentacles. So the advice is to be more generous and more charitable and helping other people. So rather than trying to make things how they used to be, it's a matter of helping people in the current structure, in the current paradigm. How do you move into a positive place? It's not going to be the same place that it was, but how do you move it into a positive place? Like, stop trying to make it what it was and help make what it's becoming something that is positive and something that you can be on board with. All right. Let's take a look here at love and relationships, and let's look at our past. We have the moon. Our present energy is 8 of Swords, and the future next level energy that's coming in is Temperance. So the moon card, this is about, there's kind of the dual meanings there on the moon card is it's about lies and deceit, kind of a sense of, it's kind of that mystery or subconscious, but it is about a little bit of that trickery and deception, and sometimes it's also about your fears and your doubts and kind of lying to yourself. But I think there's this element of you've kind of been tricked and now you're feeling stuck. So the 8 of Swords energy is definitely that energy of being stuck, and it's kind of that victim type of energy. And so there's a lot of anxiety with it because she feels like she's stuck in this picture. So this one's a little bit different than how the Rider-Waite deck looks. But, in terms of the victimization part, there's most of the swords are behind her. But in this situation, she's a little bit more stuck than she is in a typical deck, but it is to some extent in your head. So you can get out of it, but it takes deliberate effort to get out of it. So it's usually not a quick, snap your fingers and it's done. It's taking little baby steps to distance yourself from the swords, which is that perceived kind of prison that you're in. The next level of energy coming in is this balanced energy, and you're able to kind of see both sides of it. It's getting you into a place of harmony. So you're moving past whatever this moon energy was into a place of balance. So that's definitely a good positive trend or development there. Before we move on to some of the spray paint oracle cards, let's take 2 cards to see what is it that you don't see coming in general. So this is not specific to the relationships, but like overall energy. There was one. So what is it that you don't see coming? The Chariot and the Empress. So the Chariot is that fast-moving energy. So things are going to change quickly for you. And with the Empress being that loving, abundant, flowing energy, that femininity, nature, things like that. So things are going to be changing and getting better for you very quickly. So depending on when your birthday is, some of this is going to be changing, but there is that major decision for you. You can always move things sooner. So we always say this, that things aren't set in stone. So even though these are the energies, you can affect them by the way you're interacting with them and by what it is that you personally are doing. So this is going to be a fast-moving energy, so it looks like at least you're going to move out of some of this part relatively quickly. Let's pull a few spray paint oracle cards and see what other messages are coming in for pile B. All right. You're misreading this situation, and things are not as bad as they seem. So immediately when I first pulled you're misreading the situation, I was thinking with this 8 of Swords, and things aren't as bad as they seem. So you're going to be able to get to this place of balance and harmony, I think, more easily than you think that you are. Oftentimes with the 8 of Swords, since it is that kind of that you feel restricted, you feel victimized, you feel that sense of anxiety, it's going to quickly move itself out. So the Empress is also associated with nature. And so go for walks, work on grounding, meditate outside, journal, things like that. Get yourself closer to nature and try to tap into your intuition. And it will become apparent that things are not as bad as they seem. Not as bad as they seem, that you're just kind of maybe misreading that situation. So I hope that you found today's message to be helpful, but as always, take only what resonates. I will be doing more of these Pick Your Pile videos. So if this one in particular didn't resonate, then you can check out one of the next ones. There's also the individual zodiac sign reads that posted recently, so you can check those out. And if you want to make sure to be notified when the next set of videos posts, make sure that you hit that subscribe and notification bell. So until next time, I wish you peace and joy along your journey. And now we are on to pile 3, or pile C. All right. All right, pile C. So let's take a look and see what all messages are coming through for you for today. And so this was our amethyst. And remember, this is about relieving stress and balancing out your emotions, and also third eye and crown chakra activations. So we'll take a look at overall energy. We'll pull 3 cards, past, present, future, for your overall energy, and pull a couple cards for the workplace, present and future, and then for relationships, past, present, future, and then what you didn't see or what you don't see coming, like overall what you don't see coming. All right. So here we go for pile C. Overall energy in the recent past, we have the Chariot. We currently are sitting in a Justice energy, and then next level of energy is Ace of Wands in reverse. So you've had this kind of fast-moving energy, overcoming obstacles pretty quickly in the recent past, and so that's leaving you feeling like justice has been served. The next level coming in, though, with this Ace of Wands is there's kind of like this lack of creativity. So you feel like, okay, justice has been served, but now what? You know, maybe there were some opportunities that kind of slipped past you because you were focusing on this part of it, but it's kind of that sense of, okay, well, what comes next? So let's see what comes after this Ace of Wands in reverse energy for you. The Hierophant. So this is about like a teacher, a mentor, a guru, higher calling. So it's almost like there's, after the dust settles here and you feel like justice has come in, once you can move past this lack of creativity, it feels like it's that you're kind of tuning into some of your higher calling, like you're starting to connect more maybe with some of your gifts, that you're helping other people, that you are the mentor. Or for some of you, it might be that you start to get some ideas and then you reach out to somebody who's an expert in that area, who could be a mentor or a guru for you. Let's see, timing of when that looks to be happening. Sooner than you think. So you're not going to be in this like, what do I do now energy for very much longer. You know, sooner than you think. And, you know, connecting there with your third eye and your crown chakras, that you're really kind of starting to open up to some of your gifts here. All right, let's pull a couple cards for jobs and careers, your present energy and your future energy, and see what comes up. So in the present, you have the 9 of Wands energy, and next level of energy is the High Priestess. So your 9 of Wands energy, your present energy, is this sense of making a stand, like some resilience or persistence at your job. You know, maybe you've had some challenges or some struggles, and you're making a stand and really, you know, fighting for what you believe in work-wise. And that's going to be pushing you into this High Priestess energy, which is that divine feminine energy, but it's that inner wisdom. It's that higher consciousness. So you've been almost like making a stand on moral grounds and looking at tapping into your highest self from a work perspective. So that's, you know, that's a wonderful energy there. Now let's take a look at kind of your love and relationship standpoint. We had a flip card of the 4 of Wands. So overall, and this could be, if you are a twin flame, 4 of Wands is a card that is looked at very favorably on a twin flame journey. So that is, I'll leave that one out there, and then let's pull cards for like past, present, and future. So this might really resonate if you're on a twin flame journey. So in the recent past, you have the Hermit. Current energy is 3 of Wands. And next level is King of Pentacles in reverse. So the Hermit in reverse, in the recent past, you've kind of had this sense of withdrawing from loved ones, and you've had this feeling of sadness and rejection. And that's kind of leaving you currently in this phase of like freedom and growth. So you felt like you were kind of on your own and withdrawing from other people, but it's making you want to just reach out and do something on your own instead. And the next level, though, this King of Pentacles in reverse is kind of a little bit of that financial irresponsibility or kind of like greedy type of energy. So, and I feel like this one has been coming up an awful lot in readings lately. So I think there is that sense within the collective of, I'm tired of having to always give to other people. I want I want me to be taken care of. So there is that sense, because we did have the North Node shift into Aries in July, which was really pushing people to have that healthy level of selfishness, I guess. But this has a little bit of like greed and exploitation attached to it. So it's almost like this message, and especially I guess if you are on a twin flame journey, almost like, okay, if you're in separation right now and it's pushing you to go out and do something on your own, the greedy part or the exploitation part of it, I think, is related to the fact that your heart is still over here and that's where you really want to be. But because you've been feeling alone or feeling abandoned by your divine partner, then you're going out and doing something else. But it's almost like you're not necessarily telling whoever a new potential partner might be that, okay, my heart is really over here. And so you're doing it just to like make yourself feel better. So that's kind of the energy that I'm getting here along this line here with love and relationships. But let's see what comes after that. Like if that's an energy that's going to persist, or if that's an energy that's just kind of a temporary fleeting energy. So what comes next with love and relationships here? Then we have the Two of Swords in reverse. And so that's about this sense of indecision and some confusion. And when it says no good choice, I would say it's almost like it's a matter of, you start off on a new path, but then maybe your divine partner starts to come back and then you feel like, oh my gosh, okay, well now I have this choice. It's not a really good choice. I don't know what to do. I'm confused. So let's see when that decision point looks like it's coming in. It says not in the foreseeable future. So it's almost like you go down this other path and you're on that path for a while before, before things start to shift. And then I'm getting a weird glare there. And so then you really feel like, oh my gosh, well, wait a second. Like what's going on? I thought things were going in one direction and now they're not. And so I feel like you definitely have this sense of, what do I need to do? I don't know what I need to be doing right now. And you feel like either way you go, it's maybe not a very good decision. So let's take a look at some oracle cards and see what other help or guidance might be coming there for you. All right. Indecision. So, you do have this indecision that you're working with, but the message there is I use my intuition in all aspects of my life. So really focus on tuning into your intuition to be able to give you some guidance as to what to do. Your ego, your mind, that monkey mind is going to be really loud. You have to work on meditating and how do you quiet that to be able to get some clarity. And then you have freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. So some of that is when you can break out of this indecision, when you realize that your happiness is within your control. Like you have the freedom to create that happiness. You just need to move past that indecision. So this feeling here of, oh, I don't know what way to go. How do you avoid that is relying on your intuition and then acknowledging that you have the ability to impact your own freedom. So some of this, always remember that nothing is set in stone. You can affect these. So if you're having this feeling right now this Three of Wands feeling of, like where you're wanting to break out and try something new, just make sure that you're not doing it in a way that is going to be hurtful to other people. Like, be mindful of the fact that if you're not addressing, if you really are in a twin flame scenario, this Four of Wands, if you really are in a twin flame scenario, do not force yourself to move in a direction you don't really want to go to, but that you're doing it either out of spite or out of a sense of, well, I just want to forget about my twin, so I'm just going to go do something else. And even if it's not a twin, like if it was a partner that you'd envisioned this harmonious future with and you're having issues, like, don't go out and start something new when you're not really over it, because you're going to end up stuck in this place of indecision between the new person and the old person, if things progress with the new person. And then you might have that feeling of being stuck. So that is the message that's coming through for pile C. So I hope you found this to be helpful, but as always, take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. If it did not resonate with you, I will be doing more of these pick your pile readings, so you can see if one of those does resonate. We also have a number of other videos coming out on the channel within the next week. I did do the individual zodiac sign reads, so those have posted if you wanted to check those out. But as always, I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time, bye-bye.